They called it Freetown. A name that promised rebirth, a name that carried the weight of deliverance for the lost, the displaced, the broken. The empire called it charity, they called it freedom. But the first thing its founders lost was freedom itself. But beneath the promise, a storm was waiting, and it would take everything from them. Everyone celebrates Freetown as a symbol of liberation, a home for the freed, for the hopeful. Yet beneath that name lies a truth so uncomfortable, so quietly hidden that even history attempted to silence it. This is not a story of celebration, it is a story of contradiction, of betrayal, and ultimately, of resilience. To understand Freetown, we must begin far from its shores, in the damp, fog-choked alleys of London. London, 1787. The empire was vast, yet within its heart lived those it had discarded, men and women once enslaved in the Americas, now free and now unwanted. They were known as the Black Poor, loyalists who had fought for the British crown, promised freedom that was never fully theirs. In London, freedom had no land, no wages, no dignity. Then came a whisper, carried through churches and taverns, the promise, a new beginning, a home in Africa among ancestors. Ships were prepared, passages arranged. The British government, together with philanthropists, offered salvation. But this promise was not born from compassion, it was convenience. London's elites sought to remove a growing population of poor black citizens, to exile them under the guise of charity. The voyage to Sierra Leone was not a gift. It was an expulsion dressed as liberation. In April 1787, 4 ships set sail carrying approximately 400 settlers. They believed they were going home to freedom. They were wrong. The coast of West Africa was beautiful, lush alive, yet perilous. The air thick with humidity, the scent of earth and salt water mingling. The cries of unknown birds cut through the dense canopy. The settlers called this place the province of freedom. The British called it an experiment. Huts were built, crops planted. Yet beneath the soil lay the hidden terms of contracts. Local chiefs bound by agreements skewed in favor of distant sponsors. Misunderstandings grew. Tensions mounted. Within months, disease swept through the settlement. Malaria and dysentery claimed lives. Hunger gnawed at the survivors. The dream was collapsing. In less than a year, the first Freetown had failed. Starvation, disease, and mistrust tore the colony apart. To the survivors, it was betrayal made manifest. The settlers who could escape fled inland. Their stories and identities dissolved into oral memory. Smoke rose as a warning that freedom built on someone else's terms would never last. Yet even as Freetown fell, one man stood. Thomas Peters, enslaved, then a soldier. Peters had endured displacement in Nova Scotia, a frozen land of hardship where freedom meant hunger. When he heard the original settlers had been deceived, promised no land, no rights, no justice, Peters did not remain silent. He organized, collected testimony, and traveled across the Atlantic to London, a former slave walking into the offices of British officials, demanding what had been promised, demanding dignity and demanding land. Peters forced the empire to act. The British, uneasy and embarrassed, sent ships once more. When they returned in the 1790s, they were prepared. They had learned that true control did not come from chains, it came from systems. Laws replaced promises, governors replaced settlers, missionaries replaced leaders. Freedom became a tool, subtle, invisible, shaping minds, behaviors. To many, this looked like progress, yet beneath the surface lay design, a carefully constructed framework of influence. Thomas Peters would not live to see the rebuilt Freetown, dying before the settlement fully took shape. Yet even under such control, life persisted. Resistance found its voice in whispers, in language, in the blending of cultures. The freed settlers from London were joined by Jamaican Maroons and Africans rescued from illegal slave ships. The recaptives, each carrying histories of survival, of resilience. Out of these fragments emerged something unplanned, something unstoppable. African tongues tempered with English words, Christian hymns with African rhythm, prayers whispered in accents foreign to the British ear. This fusion was forged, not gifted, out of struggle, chaos, and imposed order. A people emerged. They called themselves Creole, not English, not tribal, and something between, something beyond. The Creole language became defiance incarnate. Through it, the people preserved knowledge, culture, memory hidden in plain sight. The empire could not anticipate it. They could teach reading and writing, yet not belief. The settlers' children became the Creole. The Creole became teachers, diplomats, storytellers. Every generation that followed bore the weight of Thomas Peters' struggle. Freetown was never truly free. Born from exile, built on broken promises and yet enduring, they transformed ashes into legacy, suffering into culture, betrayal into identity. This is the paradox of Freetown, a city born from lies that gave birth to truth. A colony built on control that forged its own soul. A name that mocked its people until they redefined it for themselves. The founding of Freetown was not the end of slavery's story. It was the beginning of Africa's rebellion against history's silence. And perhaps that is what freedom truly is. Not a gift to be granted, but a truth to be reclaimed again and again by those who remember. If this story moved you, don't let it stop here. Subscribe to the channel, The Unseen Atlas. Hit the notification bell and share it with others who need to hear the untold stories of history. Because the unseen, the unheard, and the forgotten deserve a voice.